Sell before the call. An issue I find in the online coaching space, whether you're a closer or the coach yourself and you're taking your own sales calls, is that everyone thinks they're the best at sales. They think they're Jordan Belfort. They think they're Jeremy Minor, Grant Cardone, Andy Elliott. They think they're the most incredible person at sales. And the issue with that is, this means that you go into calls wanting to objection handle, probably facing a lot of objections. You've probably faced objections, I need to think about it. I need to speak to my wife or husband. I don't have the money. You've probably faced a numerous amount of objections. And the funny thing is this, you could have alleviated all these objections and turned your closing, your sales calls into onboarding calls if you did this one thing, if you sold before the call. Forget selling on the call, forget showing all your amazing sales calls, because I'm sure you're good, I'm sure you've got some skills, but why use your skills when you don't need to, when you can just tighten up your sales process by selling before the call? What I'm going to be breaking down in this video today, shouldn't be too long, is exactly how to sell before the call with these 3 components. And if you utilize these 3 components the correct way, you'll be able to effectively sell before the call and jump on calls with ease and have no objections at the point of collecting cash. It's very, very simple. So we have 3 components. They're really simple. We have our content, nurturing content, be it at that. We have our sales assets, and we have our sneaky triage call. What I like to call a sneaky triage. Most people within their content focus on virality, or they focus on giving as much value as possible. And these 2 things, don't get me wrong, these 2 things are good. You need to go viral in some sense. You need views, you need some attention, right? You need traffic, whether that's via paid, organic, you name it. And you also need to give them value, because based on the law of reciprocity, the more value you provide, the more value that's provided back to you. It's a cycle. But the issue with just providing value and then viral content is that, number one, you're not actually positioned as a pure expert in the market, and you're nurturing and building upon followers rather than buyers. With our content, we need to be doing a few things. We need to be focusing on giving our audience unique insights. And we need to also focus on being extremely hyper niched. And only then, once we've done these 2 things, can we come to the point of solving their problems. So, unique insights. What even are these? So unique insights are very simple. Most people focus on value, how to do XYZ. For example, if you're an online fitness coach, you'd focus on, oh, here are the best ab exercises. Here are the best shoulder workouts. Here's the best meals to do XYZ thing. And this is good. This is good. Don't get me wrong. This is good. This is value for your audience. But you need to focus on unique insights. Unique insights are when you change the way your audience thinks, shift their paradigm, make them understand everything they've been doing currently has been wrong, show them what you do, which is effective, and tell them why you do it. Don't just tell them how to do things, and don't just tell them what to do, tell them exactly why you do it. Within your content, you want people to watch your content and have that aha moment, that's what I should have been doing. Let me give you an example of a unique insight. If you're trying to lose weight, stop doing meaningless cardio on the treadmill. And a lot of people, especially older people, will go, what? What are you talking about? I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm gonna go on the Stairmaster or the treadmill or, the Paralytics machine. I'm gonna do these things. Why would I not do these things? I'm trying to lose weight. But then you're gonna explain to them that the reason why you actually shouldn't be going excessively on cardio is that doing cardio actually makes you more hungry than you would have been if you just did some simple resistance training, which then makes you eat more than you would have eaten regardless, and you don't end up losing any weight. And you also end up despising the gym because you're just doing this really intense, really difficult cardio. What you should be doing instead is focusing on being in a calorie deficit, and then also focus on resistance training that actually builds muscle. For example, meaningless cardio will also mean you just have a runner's physique rather than an actual lean muscular physique that you're actually trying to attain. Another unique insight, for example, could be sleep less, feel more energized. And they're like, what? What are you talking about? No, I need to get my 8 hours of sleep, my 10 hours of sleep, my 9. But you're gonna explain to them, realistically, you're a busy professional. You don't have the time to actually be sleeping 8 hours a day. You should be sleeping 6 hours a day. However, to ensure your energy level will stay the same or actually improve, you should focus on the quality of your sleep rather than the quantity of your sleep. What does this mean? This means not eating before you go to bed. This means using blue light blockers. This means, dropping the temperature in your room before you go to bed. And the fact is, this now means you'll sleep less, but still feel energized. And those 2 are key unique insights you could use as a fitness coach, which would make them now go, that's what I've been doing wrong and this is what I should be doing. Once you've broken down unique insights within your content, focusing on these over just value. You now need to ensure that within these unique insights, you are extremely hyper-niched. We know there are so many saturated markets, and especially if you're a fitness coach, that's a massively saturated market. You've got everyone and their mum trying to be a fitness coach. So how do you stand out? It's by speaking directly to your ICP and being extremely hyper-niched. For example, one of my clients has a niche where he helps desk working professionals in North America who work in tech get in shape, become lean, mobile, and muscular. And that is when you're so niche down, your content speaks directly to their ICP, directly to them. And they're like, okay, he's speaking to me. I know this guy's an expert in my specific field. Now, once you've done these two things, you can now ensure that when you provide value, you don't just provide meaningless value. You don't just say, here are the 5 best exercises for XYZ thing, but you provide value that solves their specific problem. You'll know your content is good if they can take your content, apply it, get results before they even pay you. If they're able to do this, all of a sudden, you've sold them before the call that this guy is an expert, his mechanism actually works. And this is how you nurture with your content the right way. Setting before the call, number 1. We nurture via our content. Number 2, we implement our sales assets. And this has to be a no-brainer. This is one of the biggest things I did into my clients' businesses that improved their show rates and their close rates, because we weren't getting people who were uneducated about the offer, about actually getting in shape, and we pre-handled objections. So what sales assets do you actually use, and how does this actually work? When someone books in a call, they go onto a post-booking landing page. When they go on this post-booking landing page, you make it clear in that post-booking video that before the call, they must watch 3 pieces of content that are essentially their homework. This is also highlighted clearly in the sneaky triage that we're going to go into in a second. But the fact is, these sales assets include these 3 things. Number 1, we have to have a testimonial montage. So we need to have a montage of our testimonials, our case studies, our results, to show them that we are an expert in our field and we do what we say we can do. We've done it before in the past and we will do it for them. You want to have a variety of people, especially people that match different sort of archetypes. An Asian person who's got results with you, a black person, a white person, an old person, a young person, a person who worked in XYZ job, an XYZ job. But the fact is, you need to have a variety of testimonials and a montage of these where people are speaking about the emotional effect that your program had on them, which then shows that, okay, this person is going to actually change my life. 1 to 2 minutes, maybe 3, and you're good to go. What next? We need to have an objection handling sales asset. So people always think, okay, I've got to learn how to objection handle and handle all these problems that come at the end of the call. But the fact is, if you had just done this before the call, we wouldn't run into these type of objections. So you need to, if you have previous sales calls, you want to go through your previous sales calls and look at all the objections you had to handle. Was it, I need to think about it? Was it, I need to speak to my wife or husband? Was it, I don't have enough time to get into this type of program? Was it, I just, you know, I don't feel like I'm able to do it without someone in person? What are the main objections that you're facing in your sales calls? Note those down and make an objection handling sales asset. For example, with some of my clients, we have a couple objection handling sales assets. One is why you need to invest into your health. Why do you need to do it in the first place? Because some people don't actually understand the importance of your health. And in that video alone, it's a very short 3 to 5 minute video, we break down that concept. Another objection handling sales asset is why a cheap program will never actually get you results. And what does this do, guys? This primes your audience to know that, okay, number 1, this guy isn't just a cheap throwaway program. But number 2, he's explained clearly why if I go to a cheap competitor of his, I'm probably not going to get results. You could easily do an FAQ where you just answer frequently asked questions which are actually objections. But the point is, having an objection handling sales asset that they must watch before the call will mean that when they step into this call, honestly, every objection will be pre-handled. That's the game changer. Finally, we want to have a process sales asset. This sales asset is key, and this sales asset shows them exactly what it looks like to work with you on a logistical basis. This makes the sales call effortless because of the fact that you've already gone over kind of the workout platform you may use. You've gone over what the onboarding process looks like, how quickly you want them to get results, your unique mechanism of actually getting in shape. You've gone over all these key things, which then means before the call, they know you're an expert in your field, you've done what you say you can do. They know exactly that every objection they have in their mind has been debunked, and you've subconsciously sold to them before, and we actually know exactly what your process logistically looks like. We've nurtured them with our content before them even booking in the call. Now they've booked in the call, step 2, we've given them sales assets. Sales assets that actually deal with problems ahead of time, rather than us trying to be Jordan Belfort on the call. Finally, we have what I like to call a sneaky triage. People always argue, 1 call close, 2 call close. Which one is better? 2 call closes is when we book in a discovery call and some sort of game plan or onboarding call after. And the issue we find with 2 call closes is that while they probably overall have a better conversion than a 1 call close when you're just trying to run and gun it, you have a massive discrepancy between the first and the second call in terms of show rate. Because there's no way that 100 people show up to the first call and 200 people show up to the second call. The number can only realistically stay the same or go down, and I'll let you know it's not going to stay the same, right? So there's obviously going to be some sort of drop-off between the first and the second call. This then means that you're playing a game where you have to make sure they show up to both calls, which is slightly difficult. More than possible, 2 call closes work, but slightly difficult. We also have the 1 call close, and what most people do is the call gets booked in, and immediately the person, maybe after 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, jumps on that first call, and they try and close them in that first call. And this isn't bad either. This is more run and gun style. This is the standard way most people close sales calls. But the issue with this is there is no pre-qualification. There is no process slightly before that first call, which ensures key things occur in that call, ensures the show rate is high, ensures that the close rate is actually high. And this is where the sneaky triage comes in. What occurs is, in the calendar booking platform, when they are booking in the call, we do tell them to make sure they have WhatsApp downloaded. We do tell them that one of our team members will reach out to them. The second someone books in, within 30 minutes, a member of your team, whether it's an appointment setter, the closer, whoever it is, will send them a message on WhatsApp, basically saying, hey, so-and-so, I'm Bob's head of operations, I'm Bob's client success manager. Just confirming your call. Is now a horrible time for a quick 5-minute pre-call to prepare you for the call? And then simultaneous to that message being sent, on the platform which you booked them in, whether it was dialing, Instagram, LinkedIn, you actually send them a message saying, hey, so-and-so, my head of operations just reached out to you. Did you manage to get back to him? So they know it's legit. They messaged Bob on WhatsApp, and now Bob has a quick 5, 10, 15-minute triage call, sneaky triage call, a pre-call with the prospect. And I'll let you know there's 3 purposes, 3 things you must accomplish in this sneaky triage. Number 1, disqualify unqualified prospects. This is so important. We need to eliminate any bush beaters, any people who have financial objections, any people who simply don't even want a coach at this particular point in time and are just trying to have a call to speak to the creator, speak to the coach, speak to the face of the business. There's some people who book in calls genuinely just to speak to the person and say, yeah, how's everything going? These are time wasters. We don't want these people jumping on calls. We don't want to waste our coach's time or our closer's time. Number 2, collect info. This is massively important, and this makes your closer's life 10 times easier. This increases your close rate on the basis that by the end of this sneaky triage call, this 5, 10, 15-minute pre-call, you want to know everything about the prospect. You want to know the prospect's dog's name. That's how deep you want to go into this, right? You want to collect information about where they are right now, where they want to be, what's been holding them back. And by the way, if you want any of these scripts, just join the free school community below. It's for online fitness and health coaches and online coaches who want to scale up their business in 2025. We want to collect information. We want to know where they are, where they want to be, what's been holding them back. We want to build some pain. We actually want to frame the person they're going to have the closing call with as an expert and raise their value. And then finally, once we've done this, we've disqualified unqualified prospects, we've collected information, and we've relayed, by the way, we record this pre-call, so we relay this information back to the closer so they can actually understand the tone of the person. And we also give them notes, right? Now is where we guarantee they show up. But how do we guarantee this person shows up? It's by tying them into the process. And so this is when, after this triage call, 5, 10, 15 minutes is done, we go on and say, okay, Bob, by the way, just a couple things to make sure you've done before the call. First and foremost, have you watched these free trainings, these training videos that we put on the post-booking video? They're gonna say yes, they're gonna say no. If they say yes, amazing, you're ahead of the game. If they say no, you say, please make sure you watch those. These are mandatory before the call. They're so important, and they just make the call a more enjoyable process for you and XYZ coach. Perfect, they've watched the trainings. Number 2, we tie them in with some sort of homework, some sort of commitment. For example, if you're an online fitness coach, you want them to send their physique photos before the call. What does that allow us to do? We utilize this as ammo because, number 1, someone who's out of shape has taken photos of themselves, which they've probably not done in a very long time, sent them to you. Now in the sales call, on the pitch deck, you're gonna present these photos and actually analyze the photos and show them where they need to work, on their physique. What are their, genetics look like, if they have potential, etc. And this is a very pain-building process, which then makes you closing a lot more effortless because they've actively seen their physique on a photo, seen their physique on the screen, and they're like, wow, this is bad, I need to change. I need this coach. This guy's an expert. So for example, if you were, let's say, a sales coach and you were getting people into closing roles, you would make them film a 1-minute video of themselves about why they want to close or why they want to get into closing. And then you would use this video in the sales call to analyze the way they articulate themselves and say, yeah, your tonality here is good and this is good, but this could be better, etc. You can do this for any niche. But the point is, you need to tie them in with some sort of homework, some sort of commitment, some sort of actual action. And this also allows you to assess prospects are more serious. Because if someone doesn't do that, that homework, you may call it, but they still show up to the call, it's not to say you can't close them, but it's to say that they didn't take the process as serious as possible. And finally, we want to make it extremely clear that these calls are very rare, they're very scarce, they're very valuable, and they need to show up. And so this is where you raise the value of the coach, raise the value of the program, and make them understand that, please, if you do want to reschedule, just let us know in the WhatsApp chat, and then we can go from there. If you nurture the prospect with your content, provide them sales assets, pre-call sales assets, and implement a sneaky triage call, this will mean you can sell before the call. My name's Isaac. I run a sales and marketing consultancy firm for online fitness coaches. And if you've enjoyed this video, watch some more of my videos, extremely informational. As I said, join the free school. There's way more elite level videos in that school that some of them I don't even post them on YouTube. Go ahead and do that. But if you actually want to expedite the process of implementing something like this into your business, this is just one step in the entire process I implement for my clients. And you want to scale up your business to serious levels in 2025, just book a call. Simple as that. Have a blessed day. Jesus loves you, God made, God paid, and take care of yourself.